Brent, give me the high sign when we're ready.
Hey, Dean. Hey, sir.
Yeah, we'll have to get it from Keith when he gets back in the control room.
He's in
All right, thank you.
Yes.
I can hear you. All right, good evening and welcome to the City of Xenia City Council meeting. Tonight is Thursday, November 12th, 2020. It's 6 o'clock, and at this time I will call our meeting to order. We are going to start with a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance given by Councilwoman Rebecca Dean. If we could all observe a moment of silence. Thank you very much. Councilwoman Dean, whenever you'd like to proceed, go ahead.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Councilwoman Dean, for that Pledge of Allegiance. At this time, I will ask for a roll call.
Vice President Wallace. Councilman Scrivens.
Here.
Councilwoman Dean.
Here.
Councilwoman
Here.
Dean. Oh, you're the Councilman Branham.
Here.
Councilman Dean.
Here.
Mayor Mays.
Here.
President Smith.
Present. Here. Thank you. At this time, I'll make a motion to excuse our Vice President Edgar Wallace due to an illness. Could I get a second on that, please?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councilwoman Dean. And if I make an error, please let me know as we go through the minutes here. Could I get a roll call, please?
Councilman Scrivens.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Branham.
Aye.
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Mayor Mays.
Aye.
President Smith.
Aye. Thank
Motion
you very
carried.
much. Thank you. For those that are watching tonight, our meeting is via Zoom due to issues of COVID. We have had, and the city manager will talk about this tonight, we have had a couple cases of COVID in our staff here at the city. So as a precautionary measure, we are all Zooming in tonight, and we will allow the public to know our intentions going forward for our next meeting. Tonight we have no special presentation, but I actually just skipped the approval of minutes. Sorry about that. So at this time, I will take a motion to accept the minutes from our October 22nd, 2020 meeting. Do I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Okay, sounded like we had a motion by Councilwoman Dean and a second by Mayor Mays. Is that correct? Any additions or corrections to our meeting notes from the October 22nd meeting?
Mr. President, just one.
Yes, Councilman Scrivens.
Page 9, under Mayor and Council, at first paragraph. The spelling of the last name is S-T-I-L-L. We have it spelled incorrectly.
Okay, thank you very much. If we could have City Clerk make that correction to the meeting notes, we'll get that corrected for the record. Any other additions or corrections on the minutes? I'm not seeing any, so at this time, roll call to accept the minutes, please.
Councilman Scrivens.
Aye.
Councilwoman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Branham.
Aye.
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Mayor Mays.
Aye.
President Smith.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you very much. We have no special presentation tonight. Audience comments due to the COVID-19, our council chamber is closed. However, we do have one written email that I have printed that I will share with the rest of the council. You should have already have been copied on this email from the citizen regarding issue on 2nd Street. The letter states to who can help. The 100 block East 2nd Street, concerned with drug and theft activities in this block, stemming from East 2nd Street to Collier Street. Traffic at the two houses back and forth. This house, there's a certain house that's boarded up, but it does seem like the wood is being taken down, and they're using that wood to build a barrier. It's suspicious that the activity could be drug related. However, it seems like if these people are arrested, they are out the next day to continue their activities. Some neighbors have been broken into in the house and garage and have lost electronics tools. We're writing this letter to see what can be done, and your help is greatly appreciated. And it's signed 16 signatures by the citizens. So we'll enter this into council notes. And Mr. City Manager, do you want to elaborate on this at all right now or during your report?
I can speak to it briefly, Mr. President. The letter was received by our office as well, and we have in turn contacted the police division, and we'll be discussing with them alternatives related to this. As council's aware, we do have a project using some of our CDBG dollars for 2021, really focusing on that area, and part of the project that we'll be engaging is with law enforcement and code enforcement, as well as fire division, to make sure that we're going in and doing a sweep to make sure that we're addressing whether it's criminal activity issues, property management, maintenance issues, whatnot. So this will work in conjunction with the plan we already have for next year.
All right, thank you very much. Moving on to old business, we've none tonight, and we have no public hearing scheduled for this evening. So our next item will be new business. Our first item is resolution 2020-G, an introduction. This is authorizing suspension of uncollectible utilities, income tax, and parking citation receivables. I'll allow our finance director to speak to this.
Thank you, Council President. Per section 236.12, the finance director is required to bring a list of uncollectibles to council in the first meeting in November. And so that's what we're doing here tonight. We're requesting write-offs for utilities in a total of $26,140.66. Those specific details are listed there in the resolution. That's 29 accounts. And typically we would certify outstanding amounts for utilities. In this circumstance, typically that's not possible because there was a bankruptcy or a sheriff's sale, some other reason that we couldn't make those collections. We are also asking the council write off $37,918.63 for income taxes. These are typically taxes that we either can't locate the person or have determined that we're going to be unable to collect for a variety of reasons. That actually, there's a typo. There's 71 accounts. It says 111 in the item, but it's actually 71, 22 individual accounts and 49 withholding accounts that for various reasons we're requesting be written off here tonight. And then finally, $845 for parking citations. These citations are actually the citations prior to the new parking policy. So these were in existence before we started the new process for parking enforcement. And so we're asking to write off $845 of those outstanding parking violations here this evening. So we're requesting the council introduce the ordinance 2020-GG to write off these uncollectible amounts. Council President, I think you're muted.
Council President, I think you're muted. Thank you. Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Gotcha now.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Sorry about that. At this time, before we ask for an introduction, does anyone have any questions for our finance director? Not seeing anyone. Which of my colleagues would like to introduce this tonight?
I can.
Okay, I heard a voice. Was that Mayor Mays?
Yes, it was. I guess that's what I heard.
Okay. All right. Can you confirm that, Mayor?
Yes, it was me.
Thank you very much. Introduced by the mayor. Our next item is Resolution 2020-H, also an introduction. This is repealing Resolution 2020-U in its entirety, and we'll allow our city manager to discuss this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Earlier this year, staff began discussions with the Xenia Area Chamber of Commerce about the potential of leasing space in the Xenia Station facility for use as the Chamber's offices. It was thought that this would provide greater visibility to the Chamber while at the same time helping the security concerns at Xenia Station, given that the Chamber under that scenario would have a more full-time presence, at least during daytime hours. Council subsequently authorized the lease with the Chamber. After further consideration, however, the Chamber Board of Directors voted to decline the lease at this time, citing concerns with the current economic circumstances. As a result, staff is requesting the Council repeal Resolution 2020-U to free up any obligation with the Chamber for the space at Xenia Station. With Council's concurrence, we would still like to pursue other opportunities or potentially retail alternatives that might fit into this available space at Xenia Station, with the intent that any revenue that would be received would go toward the care and maintenance of that facility. And again, that if we can find an alternative user, that would help to improve the security situation. So for the purposes of the agenda item this evening, we're just seeking a resolution for the repeal. Excuse me, we're seeking an introduction for the repeal of Resolution 2020-HH.
Thank you very much. Who would like to introduce that?
I'll introduce that, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Dean. Next is item C, an administrative motion. This is authorizing the city manager to execute intergovernmental agreement with Business First for a 5-year term beginning January 1st of 2021. Mr. City Manager, would you like to discuss that, please?
Thank you, sir. The city has participated in the Business First Greater Dayton Region Business Retention Program since 2007. The program is designed to be an intergovernmental collaboration to promote connections with wealth-generating companies in our communities to assist them in meeting their needs for growth and for economic success. This nationally recognized program provides the city with access to more than 100 resource partners for various assistance services for our local businesses when needed, and it offers a customized, comprehensive customer management when needed. And the program establishes some clear protocols for the participants, the participating jurisdictions, to follow when dealing with the expansion or relocation of a business from one community to another. While these protocols cannot prevent a business from moving if they so choose to another community, they do ensure that we have the opportunity to try to work with any company considering a relocation and attempt to meet any of their needs within our community. Participation in the program costs the city $1,500 per year, which pays for the program design and implementation, including the marketing and website maintenance that is facilitated by Montgomery County. And again, this is a multi-jurisdictional program in our region. The cost also includes the survey design, database, and technology development, which is facilitated by Executive Pulse Incorporated, which is based in Erie, Pennsylvania. The program costs will remain the same through calendar year 2025. And staff recommends City Council approve an administrative motion authorizing our continued participation in this valuable program.
Thank you very much, Mr. City Manager. Do we have a motion to move towards authorizing the city manager to execute this agreement? Looking for a motion.
So moved, Mr. President.
I have a motion by Councilman Scrivens. Entertain a second.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Councilman Branham. Thank you very much. Any further discussion regarding this agreement with intergovernmental agreement with Business First?
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
I see that our annual fee is $1,500, and then there's a one-time fee of $3,000. That's on page 3, H, E, and H. I'll be asking about.
Yeah, I'll ask Mr. Brodsky to chime in on that.
Yes, Councilman, when we first joined the program back in 2007, there was the one-time essentially joiner's fee of $3,000. That's in the agreement because this is a standard agreement that we ask any jurisdiction that participates to sign. So if a new jurisdiction were to decide to join, they would sign this exact same agreement. But we've already paid that $3,000 more than 10 years ago.
Okay.
All we have is the $1,500 a year.
Now, are you our representative on the Program Advisory Committee?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that was my question. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Scrivens. Any other questions while we have Mr. Brodsky on? I'm not seeing any. So at this time, I'll move for a roll call to accept the agreement.
Councilman Scrivens?
Aye.
Councilwoman Dean?
Aye.
Councilman Branham?
Aye.
Councilman Dean?
Aye.
Mayor Mays?
Aye.
President Smith?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you very much. Our next item is also an administrative motion. This is approving the schedule of bills tonight in the amount of $1,513,586.44. Mr. Finance Director, anything for tonight? Schedule of bills.
Sure. So this is obviously a pretty large schedule of bills. It's due to the payment for street rehab or street improvements. So most of the 2020 street program was paid for here on this schedule of bills. And there also is a large debt service payment for facilities. Those are the lion's share of the cost with the schedule of bills here this week. And that's all I have to note.
Thank you, Mr. Finance Director. Any questions for the Finance Director tonight?
Just, Mr. President, if I could, like to thank the Finance Director for his diligence that he does every month to bring us up to date to the penny. And I want to thank the mayor. She had given me some advice, and I took that to heart. I did speak to our law director today regarding ORC 915 and ORC 4717-17. And with that, I'll say thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Scrivens. Any other questions or comments regarding the schedule of bills for tonight? All right, I am looking for a motion to pay the bills tonight.
So move.
Moved by Councilman Scrivens. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by the mayor. Thank you very much. Seeing no other questions, can I get a roll call, please?
Vice President Wallace? Oh, sorry. Councilman Scrivens?
Aye.
Councilman Dean?
Aye. Aye.
Councilman Branham?
Aye. Aye.
Councilman Dean?
Aye.
Mayor Mays?
Aye.
President Smith?
Aye.
Motion
Thank you
carried.
very much. Thank you. Next on our agenda is reports of committees. Our first committee is Board of Zoning Appeals, which is chaired by the mayor. Anything you'd like to report tonight, Mayor?
We did not have a meeting. We did not have anyone apply for a variance, so we did not have a meeting.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Nothing to report tonight due to a lack of a meeting. Next is Traffic Commission. That's chaired by Councilman Dean. Anything to report tonight, Councilman Dean?
Thank you, Mr. President. We also did not meet. We didn't have any agenda items for this month, so there is no meeting. Thanks.
Thank you very much. No meeting for Xenia Traffic. Our next item is Board for Recreation, Arts, and Cultural Activities. I am happy to report we did have a meeting. We actually had it on the day after the election, which was November 4th, last Wednesday. Our meeting was fairly brief. The only item to discuss was Hometown Christmas. That is still scheduled for the weekend of Saturday, December 5th, on a time slot of 11 to 3. Hometown Christmas this year is scaled back due to COVID. We are asking that we try not to have a lot of gatherings of crowds. So our carolers that are scheduled to perform from the Xenia High School Ensemble Group will actually be moving. They will not be staying in a place. They'll be moving around various places during our downtown. We are having the Santa House from 11 to 3. The Santa House will be located in our parking lot here at the City Administration Building here on Main Street. Santa will actually be zooming in from the North Pole, and he'll be able to visit with children through a virtual situation. We will have Santa helpers at the Santa House that will be providing stocking items. Most of these will be do-it-yourself ornaments or prizes that kids can take home, and that'll be from 11 to 3. Also, for Hometown Christmas, there is a window decorating contest for our hometown merchants. Residents are welcome to participate in that. And we are planning to have food trucks on December 5th from at least 11 to 3. There will be lights in the evening at Shawnee Park. But this year, due to various factors, there will not be horse and buggy. Horse carriage rides will not be offered this year. So we are sad and a little disappointed that that's just not going to happen. But however, hang in there. We are expecting that for next year. So our next item, does anybody have any questions for me regarding BRCA? Okay, I'm not hearing any. So our next item is a report from Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission, and our representative to that is Councilwoman Dean. Do you have anything to report tonight?
Unfortunately, I was unable to make the meeting this week.
All right, thank you very much.
Not this week, but this month. Excuse me.
Got it. Okay, thank you very much. So we have nothing to report for the RPC. And our next item is Planning and Zoning Commission. That's shared by Councilman Branham. Do you have anything to report tonight?
Planning and Zoning Commission meeting was canceled due to lack of agenda items.
Thank you very much. So that meeting was canceled. So our next item on our agenda is the appointed officials report and council comments. First, tonight, we are going to hear from our city manager. Mr. Merriman, would you like to engage us tonight?
Yeah, just 2 items this evening. First, I wanted to speak a little bit regarding the current situation in our community and the city organization with the COVID pandemic. As of today, we do have quite a few staff who are quarantined, and we've had some exposure in our administrative offices, which is, of course, in part the reason that we're doing the meeting virtually tonight. We are seeing an increasing number of direct cases with city staff as well as exposures. Overall, the greatest challenge that we have is under the criteria established by the Ohio Department of Health and CDC for what we would define as an exposure incident. The guidance in the health department requirement is a 14-day quarantine, which when it comes to our staff operations can create a real significant challenge, particularly as we think about fire and police and communications. So we've had to implement some additional policy through administrative directive to help bring some relief and allow some staff that, with proper measures, to be able to come back into service if they've had an exposure incident by definition, to bring them back a little earlier than the 14 days with certain criteria in place that helps protect them and the public. Right now, we don't necessarily see the need to have any significant alterations to services, but we hold open the possibility that we may need to adjust our operations, access to the CAB or to the Justice Center, given different circumstances where we would have further exposures. Again, I think the chief concern is not so much people getting sick and the severity of that. It's for us the impact of the exposure and the requirement to quarantine people. So again, we continue to try to to manage and continue operations, and obviously have some contingency plans in place for particularly for public safety to ensure that we have services that are uninterrupted. But I will say it is a growing challenge. We are dealing with these COVID issues literally on a daily basis right now. So I think we're going to have to continue to be very vigilant in monitoring the situation. Obviously, the governor's address to the state yesterday laid out concerns and some changes in policy as it relates to the retail environment, and some additional requirements for businesses for mask wearing and so forth. We encourage folks to make sure that they're aware of what the orders in place stipulate. We've also been given some resources from Greene County Emergency Management Agency that was funneled down from the state, and will be through Christina in our public relations office submitting information to remind folks of the requirements that are in place, and just some common sense suggestions on how to keep folks safe. So again, at this point, we don't anticipate immediately any alterations to services, but I just want to stress that we hold open the possibility that we may need to adjust our service delivery, just, again, to keep staff safe, and in some cases because we may not have all the staff available that we need to provide services as normal, given the infection rate that we're experiencing internally. Speaking of services, the second item I wanted to touch on tonight is leaf collection. Mother Nature has granted us a pretty nice run of weather here of late. Crews have been out. We encourage folks to make sure that you're checking the schedule online to know when crews will be in your area. And they will schedule some additional final sweeps in the coming weeks to make sure that they're getting all areas of the city. But it looks like most of the trees are clear, or pretty clear by this point. So we encourage folks to get their leaves raked up. Please rake them to the curb and not into the street. Any of that leaf or the other debris that gets into the street will find its way into our storm sewers, and that's not good for any of us. So if you have any questions about leaf collection, please visit our website, and you'll find the schedule there. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Mr. City Manager. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Merriman tonight? All right, guess not.
Comment, Mr. President.
Yes, Councilman Scrivens.
Mr. Merriman had commented about the leaf collection program. I can report that the crews were in my neighborhood today, and my next door neighbor didn't have his pulled, I don't think, close enough to the curb, and they came back and picked his up. So he wanted to say thank you. So leaf collection program is on the roll here.
Thank you, Councilman Scrivens. Anyone else have any comments?
707 Lexington was his address.
Thank you very much. Any other comments or questions for the city manager tonight? All right, thank you. Next up is our finance director. Mr. Duke, do you have anything tonight?
I have nothing else tonight.
Thank you very much. Any questions for our finance director tonight? All right, I guess you're off the hook. Thank you, sir. All right, our next is our law director. Madam Law Director, are you with us tonight?
I'm with you tonight.
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you hear me? Can't see me?
Yeah, crank the volume up a little bit.
All right, Madam Law Director, do you have anything for us this evening?
No, I don't have anything to add this evening.
Oh, there you are. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us tonight. And any questions for our law director tonight by any of my colleagues? I guess we don't have anything for you tonight. Thanks for being here.
Mr. President?
Yes, yes.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Just one item, if I can, and the law director may want to chime in on this just briefly, but a number of days ago, the Ohio Supreme Court did issue a ruling about the municipal income tax centralization and the collections at the state level. That was somewhat of a mixed decision that I think both benefits municipalities, even though the core court ruling did indicate that the state has the authority to centralize some of those collections. So this is something we may want to give you a little bit more insight in the coming weeks. There's no urgency to it, but that process has played out in court, and there's been some interesting rulings on that. So.
All right, thank you very much. Madam Law Director, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, basically, I think we'll have to wait and see what the finance director is able to tell us. Basically, what the court ruled is the state can centralize collection of municipal taxes. What they can't do is charge us an administrative fee that takes in a part of those taxes. So to the extent that we have been charged any of that, we will be due that money back. Yeah, I'm sure Ryan will be able to report on that at a later time, but that's basically what they said. So at this point, we'll wait and see, now that the state knows that they can't take any of that money, whether they'll try and come up with some kind of new fee or whether they'll let it go. That's what we'll have to wait and see.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's a good synopsis, and I think it will be interesting to see what the state does, because I can't imagine they're going to continue to collect that without a fee. I think it's a win for the municipality overall, even though they ruled that they can ultimately collect it. I think that the fee is a major hurdle, so they may come up with some creative way around it. But for now, we'll do our best to calculate what that fee has been to us. They don't actually give us a whole lot of detail when they collect those taxes on our behalf, so it's not all that easy sometimes to go back and see what will be due to us. But we'll do our best to make that calculation and let council know what that should mean for the city.
All right, thank you very much. Next up is council comments. We'll start with Councilwoman Dean, Rebecca Dean. Do you have anything for us tonight?
I do. I would just like to remind the American people that we are a republic, which means for the people and by the people, and we are not run by a dictatorship. So let's live in freedom and not fear. Let's get involved. Let's get off of social media and stop complaining, and let's get involved. And let's get involved in our communities and do something, people. This is a great country, and let's keep it that way. That's all.
All right. Thank you very much. Next, Councilman Branham. Thanks for joining us tonight. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I would just like to congratulate Officer Barker on his retirement. 30 years with Xenia Police Department, which is a great feat. I would also like to congratulate the 4th grade Blue football team. They're actually headed to the Super Bowl game on Saturday. They've worked their way up to that. I know that there was a little bit of unforeseen circumstances that got them to the Super Bowl. I think a team had to actually drop out because of COVID concerns, but they're there and they're competing on Saturday. As far as I haven't heard any different. I would also like to add that Governor DeWine, he is really going to take a toll on these small businesses. I hate to say it, the small businesses, with him saying that he's going to shut places down, he's not going to go and shut a Walmart down. He's not going to go shut a Kroger's down. He's going to shut these small businesses down that's feeding their families off their profits, not these big businesses and corporations. It is time that us as, city leaders, let alone cities, stand up and say, hey, your little rent-a-cops that you're bringing into these businesses to tattletale on people, they're not welcome here.
All right. Thank you. Do you have anything else? I didn't know if you got cut off. Are you finished?
Yep, that's it. Thank you.
Oh, okay. No, thank you very much. Appreciate those comments. Our next is Councilman Dean. Councilman Dean, what do you have to add tonight?
Thanks, Mr. President. I don't really have anything else to add. I just echo Rebecca and Cody's comments and agree with those. So thanks.
All right, thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Next is Councilman Scrivens. What would you like to add to the conversation tonight?
Well, just a few things. First, as I said, we see that the leaf collection program is doing very well. It keeps all of the leaves out of the gutters, which just saves us a tremendous amount of money in terms of clarifying that stormwater. So I'm just real happy about that. I'd like to congratulate former Xenia police officer, now retired Baker, who's now been appointed the new nuisance inspector. I want to offer him congratulations, and the future's in front of him and the challenge lay before him. So good luck to him. Central State, with their agriculture extension department, they had a grand opening of the Botanical Gardens last Friday. And from what I'm told, I wasn't able to make it. They passed out free tilapia, part of their sustained growing and all of that with vegetables and animals. So I look forward to a lot of good things happening with that. Mr. Robert Stewart has been appointed the new superintendent of the Charles H. Young Buffalo Soldiers Memorial. Former superintendent, Ms. Joy Kennard, she's now down in Alabama, I believe, with the Tuskegee Airmen or something or other. That's what I'd gotten out of that. So good luck to the new superintendent, and we wish him Godspeed. And then finally, Mr. President, just want to extend condolences to the family of Mrs. Dolores Strauss, her husband, Mr. Dick Strauss. I've known him for years. I've worked with Mrs. Strauss over the years with the board of elections. She'll be sorely missed. Also, condolences to the family of Ray Foster, our Xenia music man. Can't say much more than has been said about Ray Foster. He's just the best, and just a few of the best get a chance to come through Xenia. So we're thankful that. So we're just thankful that we had a chance to articulate with him over his lifetime. And then finally, Mr. President, just extend condolences to the family of Mr. Jackie Lane. His dad, Mr. Shane Lane, was a longtime employee of the city of Xenia. And now his oldest son is now going on to his final reward. So we just say we stay in prayer for the families of all of the ones that have become deceased since our last meeting. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Councilman Scrivens. Next up is our mayor, Mayor Mays. What would you like to add?
Thank you, sir. I had the opportunity to participate in 2 ribbon cuttings last week. On last Wednesday, Berkshire Hathaway, they moved over into the properties over by Handyman, Kennedy's, Kennedy Corner in that area. So wanted to congratulate them on their new opening. I also had the opportunity to participate in the ribbon cutting for the new Botanical and Community Garden at Central State. And I can attest to the beauty of the garden. It is stunning to walk through. It is open. They're encouraging families to come and enjoy the space. It's absolutely beautiful. So congratulations. And I also wanted to congratulate Fred Barker and thank him for his many years of faithful service to the community. I've always appreciated my interactions with him, and he's done a wonderful job. And also, of course, welcome him to city staff as well. So, and as Councilman Scrivens mentioned, wanted to pass my condolences on to both the Foster family and the Strauss family. Ray Foster was a very good friend to my family and to my father. We loved hearing him play music, and my dad was in his band for many, many years. So
wow,
he will be sorely missed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mayor Mays. Certainly appreciate your attendance at those ribbon cuttings representing our city. Before we close tonight, I would also just like to thank city staff for the work that they're doing as we round out this year of 2020. I can't think we can get rid of 2020 soon enough. But thank you for our city staff working around a lot of the challenges regarding the COVID situation. Also, just to remind our citizens to check on your neighbors, especially the elderly. Try to give them a call, check in with them. And just a reminder that our next council meeting would fall on Thanksgiving. So that meeting has moved to Tuesday, November 24th. And I believe that meeting time is still 6 o'clock. Am I correct, Mr. City Manager?
I think it's 5:30.
Okay,
Yeah.
that meeting is a 5:30 meeting?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, very good. Tuesday, November 24th, that will be a 5:30 meeting. And before I close tonight, I would like to ask Mayor Mays, would you like to mention the community meal as we only have one more meeting prior to Thanksgiving?
Absolutely. We are still offering the Thanksgiving Day meal, the free community meal. It is a drive-through only, and we are doing deliveries for shut-ins, but I will say right now it is limited delivery service. So for those who are calling and asking for a delivery, we are requesting that if you are able to do the drive-through, that is the #1 priority. We don't have as many drivers that we can send out at this time. And we've just been telling people, we know a lot of communities aren't able to have this meal, so we're very thankful for our volunteers who are making it happen. Green Memorial has been helpful, the city of Xenia, of course, in their donations, the staff that's donating pie, the Xenia Area Association of Churches and Ministries, they're doing the cooking, providing some of the food, and church people are volunteering, and of course WGC Golf Course, they're the ones that started this many years ago. They still had the turkey shoot, raised money to purchase the turkeys. We're just so thankful for their partnership. And then the Senior Center allows us to use their kitchen to do the cooking, and that's where the drive-through will be at the Reach Center. It's from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. or we're just saying until the food runs out. So we're going to get as many meals out as we can.
All right, thank you, Mayor Mays. So keep that in mind. Also, just wanted to mention, I had the opportunity to visit Harbor Freight. That's a new business that opened up in the Westtown Shopping Center next to Rural King, and they have limited hours right now. They do close at 7. So if you want to visit them, just keep that in mind, as their hours are a little bit limited. I really have nothing else tonight other than just to say, America got through another election. It seems like they're not very pretty anymore. No matter who wins, it's half the country is not happy. So we just need to pray for some peace and harmony. And at this time, I will close the meeting and ask for a motion to adjourn.
President Smith, one thing before you do, not to contradict the city manager, but you may want to check that. I just pulled up the administrative motion from the last meeting, and it shows we were moving the December meeting to 5:30, but it doesn't say anything about the November 24th meeting. So I believe that's still at 6.
I'll stand corrected if that was what was approved. I think we had intended to go early, but if that's what was approved, then that's where we'll be.
Okay. Ryan, is that your understanding, that the 24th is at 6?
I thought that we had moved them both, but that's, again, whatever was approved in the legislation, I don't think it's a major deal.
Okay.
Okay, our city clerk will confirm that, I guess, and send that out as an email.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to make a motion to change that?
That would be up to the law director.
Yeah, the language that you have in the current one was to change by administrative motion the second meeting in November from the 26th to Tuesday the 24th, and change the second meeting in December. Now, the only place it mentions the 5:30 is after the December meeting. If you would like to do an administrative motion to make the meeting at the 24th at 5:30, you can do that.
I'd like to make that motion. That's my birthday, and I'd like to move it to 5:30 so I can have birthday plans later. There you go. I said it.
Hey, all right.
So we have a motion and a second.
Thank you, Levi.
Will that work for the majority of our council? We do need a quorum that night.
Unanimous consent.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Can I get a roll call? And this is to move the meeting on Tuesday, November 24th from 6 p.m. to a 5:30 start time. And normally that agenda is fairly light as well. Can I get a roll call,
President,
please?
I was just going to add.
Yes, Mr. City Manager, go ahead.
I was just gonna confirm that agenda is pretty light as of right now, and I will also say we'll be taking cues in the coming days from our health department in terms of guidance on the exact format for that meeting. We may have to replicate what we've done tonight, but again, we'll take cues from the health department in anticipation of that meeting.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Ask for a roll call, please.
Councilman Scrivens.
Aye.
Councilwoman Dean. I think you're muted. Councilman Branham.
Aye.
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Mayor Mays.
Aye.
President Smith.
Aye.
Councilwoman Dean, are you there to weigh in? All right, well, the motion carried.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so anyone have anything else? Otherwise, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn. Okay, thank you. So after we adjourn, please stay tuned. And can I get a roll call to adjourn, please?
Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion. I'll second
I thought we did. I'm so sorry. We have a motion by the mayor and a second by Councilman Scrivens. Was that correct?
That'll work. That'll work.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Scrivens.
Aye.
Councilwoman Dean. Councilman Branham.
Aye.
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Mayor Mays.
Aye.
President Smith.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you very much. Thanks for watching tonight. Stay safe.